men, first of all, are afraid of that side of them. First of all, when you bring it that way, they think that that's a sign of weakness, but actually, in my opinion, it's a sign of strength. Because everything is named after the woman. Mother Earth,
Mm,
uh, Mother Land, Mother Country, Mother Nature. These are the strongest forces on the planet.
mm.
So men are definitely in fear of that. I mean, women populate the planet. So I just think that we have to start honoring that. Men have to recognize that like I say, we all have male and female energy, that nurturing, caring side, and I think we would have more peaceful men have been raised and taught to conquer. I think that uh, indigenous people all over the world have often been, have not been afraid. I mean, we've had kings and queens, and my ancestors, um, some of the strongest females that I've ever known. Period. I lived in a house where there was a strong, dominant male, but female by his side. He worked a job that he was never called by his name. It was
Mm.
boy, and and so the rage from that he brought home, and everybody dealt with that. She stood up to him when she had to, but she also kissed his wounds and soothed them when she had to. You know, and that's just a part of the gig. She knows what he went through. She knows what he had to go through to keep a roof over everyone's head. And he was an honest man. Uh, but because of his place and time on the planet, he had to deal with a lot of things, a lot of a lot of crazy things. And the only place that he could be king is in his home. So the lady of the house who was raised by strong women or a strong woman. Uh, she used every skill she had in her book to make sure that all right, everything's cool, everybody's cool. I got y'all covered. You need something, you know, uh, whatever it was. If it was something financial, whether it was uh, something healing or whatever. She did that, and where she got that from the woman who raised her. you know, and she came from a time where, oh my God, I can't even imagine what that is like. His feminine energy was his generosity.
Mhm.
You know, he gave up a lot. He gave a lot. He especially to me.
How do we take what your grandmother had, her mother, the people, her siblings, the women? How do we take that and use that in the world that we're living in today? How do we harness that?
Everybody talks about it starts in the home. How do we harness that? How do we, um, man, I think it has to be taught at an extremely early age and continue to be taught. The influence that all the women, my mother, my grandmother, my aunts, my great grandmothers, which I had the opportunity to know, three of them, I was blessed in that way. And one of my great grandfathers, it started in the house with the family. It started like,
How do we get that on the playing field? That energy that is feminine aspect, how do we get it on the playing field with the masculine? Because that's the only thing that's going to save us, in my opinion.
going back to, indigenous
Yes.
people, I think that's always been in our mix,
Yes. Yes.
uh, that until European women or uh, women of European descent make that decision to to challenge, I guess is a good word, or or teach even their young men. I think the men that they're married to now kind of already set in their ways, but for the generations to come, I think that they have to start stepping up to the plate and challenging, because the things that you're talking about, I've been around that most of my life. I might be, I've been around a lot of feminine energy. They have to start standing up and calling out what's wrong when it's wrong and standing their ground. I think that these young people are ready for some real change,
Mm.
real change, some lasting, some eternal change for mankind and for the planet. Women, but specifically women of European descent here in America, have to step up to the plate and say, okay, now we're all on this rock together, and if we go down, you go down.